This is our third interwar lecture. Number 3, France was determined to enforce the Versailles Treaty and punish Germany. B, Germany's Weimar Republic. Now, if you can blame World War II partly on the terms, the extreme harsh terms of the Treaty of Versailles, and I think you can, then you can also blame France's vindictiveness, really wanting to take justice into their own hands. Revenge, an eye for an eye leaves the world blind. We've said that before. The Weimar Republic, a quote from a German, perhaps we'll get a more advantageous peace. Things can't get much worse than they are now. Number 1, after World War I, the British wanted to improve relations with Germany. The French didn't. Number 2, 1921 AD, the Allied Reparations Commission ordered Germany to pay huge amounts. Reparations, payment for something that has been done that is wrong, like paying the victims for what was wrong. Number 3, 1922 AD, the German or Weimar Republic refused to pay, which led to the Franco Belgian occupation of the Ruhr, this region between the countries. And countries don't like being occupied, so then Germany's going to want to get revenge again. It's this vicious cycle of revenge. Number 4, the German government printed money to pay the striking Ruhr workers their unemployment benefits, and inflation soared. This led to runaway inflation. The German mark became worthless. People used it even as toilet paper. This destroyed the savings of retirees and the middle class. The price of bread. Let's watch the price of bread. So in 1920, the bread cost like 230 marks. 1921, 390 marks. 1922, 163 marks for a loaf of bread. You see the change. January 1923, just 1 month later, 250 marks. 2 months later, 463 marks for one loaf of bread. A couple months later, 1,400 marks. August, 69,000 marks for a loaf of bread. Their money was just worthless, nothing. September 1923, 1 month later, 1.5 million marks for a loaf of bread. Essentially, their money became worthless. Paper was worth more than their money was. That's why it became used for toilet paper. October 1923. Charles Dawes forms a plan to try to help Germany in 1924. It's good that he tries to help. If more people had tried to help like he had, we might have been able to avoid World War II. Number 6, the Dawes Plan stabilized the situation. It cut reparations, provided private American loans to help Germany. And these are the points of the Dawes Plan on the screen here. So the third, we're going to try to help Germany have a bank that works. We're going to make foreign loans available to Germany to help them. We should help them cover their taxes and their transportation. So this chart may help us to understand the Dawes Plan. Basically, Germany, the Allies, and the U.S. The U.S. would give Germany $2.5 billion in loans. Germany would give to the Allies $2 billion, so most of what the U.S. gave them in order to pay their debt that Europe said they owed. And then the Allies would pay the U.S. because the Allies owed the U.S. money because we helped in World War I, and we didn't really have to. So that's kind of that circle. We tried to help out. Number 7, after 1923 AD, Germany's economy and new democracy began to stabilize. C, the hope for peace. Number 1, 1925 AD, agreements were signed between European nations at Locarno, Switzerland, and provided a growing sense of international security. Number 2, the Locarno Pact guaranteed the borders between Germany and France, which was a potential breakthrough in France and German relations. Gustav Stresemann, German, Austin Chamberlain, British.